North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island, located in the Bay of Bengal, is part of India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. What makes the island one of the world's most forbidden places is that it is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. This small tribe, likely numbering between 50 and 150 people, has lived there for thousands of years and isolated from the rest of the world. The island is forbidden to outsiders because the tribe fiercely rejects contact. Whenever boats or helicopters approach, the Sentinelese fire arrows to drive them away. In 2006, 2 fishermen were killed after drifting too close. And in 2018, an American missionary named John Allen Chow was killed after attempting to contact the tribe 3 times. But they didn't isolate that place to protect outsiders from the Sentinelese. It's mainly to protect the tribe from diseases they've never been exposed to. Their isolation means they have no immunity to modern illnesses, and even a common sickness could destroy their population. India enforces a rule that no one can come within 5 nautical miles of the island, and the area is patrolled to keep intruders out. Anthropologist T.N. Pandit led several contact attempts between the 1960s and 1990s, but even his approaches were met with hostility. Unfortunately, a tsunami hit them in 2004, but luckily, they managed to survive. Lascaux Caves, also called the Sistine Chapel of Prehistory, located in the Dordogne region near the village of Montignac in southwestern France, contains some of the most famous prehistoric art ever discovered. Founded in 1940 by 4 teenagers, the caves contain about 1,500 carvings and 600 paintings created by humans during the Upper Paleolithic period. These works are estimated to be around 15,000 to 20,000 years old. At first, the cave was open to the public, but after authorities found that carbon dioxide, heat, and moisture from the breath of 12,000 visitors that visited the cave a day was damaging the cave paintings, and mold started to spread, and the colors began to fade. By 1963, the French government closed the caves permanently to protect them. Today, only a handful of scientists are allowed to enter. For everyone else, replicas were built nearby which carefully copy the paintings and cave shapes using the same materials and methods as the originals. Vatican Apostolic Archives. The Vatican Secret Archive, located within Vatican City in Rome, Italy, is one of the world's most restricted historical collections. This library holds centuries of records belonging to the Catholic Church, dating back to the 8th century and covering over 1,000 years of history. This collection includes letters from world leaders, records of papal conclaves, historical treaties, and thousands of records that shaped the world. Important documents include the 1521 papal bull excommunicating Martin Luther, Michelangelo's letters, papers about Galileo Galilei's trial, and much more. Despite the name, the archives are not secret in the sense of being unknown, but they are strictly closed to the public. Only a small number of qualified scholars may request access, and even they must apply for specific documents. Large portions of the archive remain completely inaccessible. The archives contain about 53 miles of shelves holding documents spanning over 12 centuries. Security is extremely strict, with researchers closely watched in reading rooms and not allowed to access the storage areas where the most confidential documents are stored. Over the years, this secrecy has fueled countless theories. In 2019, Pope Francis officially changed the name from secret to apostolic to reduce suspicion, but in practice, the archives remain one of the most forbidden places in the world. Room 39. Room 39 is believed to be located inside the Workers' Party building in Pyongyang, North Korea, and handle the country's secret finances. According to spy agencies and people who left North Korea, this organization was established in the late 1970s under Kim Il-sung and runs many overseas bank accounts, businesses, and trading companies that is thought to generate billions of dollars for the ruling Kim family through both legal and illegal means. These include foreign trade, joint ventures, mining, and, according to reports, counterfeiting, drug trafficking, and arms deals. Despite limited confirmed evidence, Room 39 is considered crucial to North Korea's financial system. Experts estimate it generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually for the country's leaders, though the exact amount is unknown. The organization's operations are entirely hidden from the outside world, with access restricted to high-ranking officials connected to the regime. What we know comes mostly from stories told by people who left North Korea and from spy agency reports. Snake Island. Ilha de Queimada Grande, more commonly known as Snake Island, is located about 21 miles off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil. This small island, only about 110 acres in size, is considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth. It is home to the golden lance-head viper, a species of snake found nowhere else in the world. Scientists estimate there are between 1 and 5 snakes in every square meter. These snakes are highly venomous, and their bite can cause severe tissue damage, internal bleeding, and death if not treated. Because of this danger, the Brazilian government has banned visitors from setting foot on the island. The only people permitted to go there are scientists with special approval. Even research teams must include medical staff and carry antidotes before landing. The golden lancehead vipers have lived in isolation on the island for about 11,000 years, since rising sea levels cut it off from the mainland. Despite the risks, Snake Island is seen as an important site for science. Their venom may have medical uses, including potential treatments for heart and circulation problems. The combination of deadly wildlife and scientific value makes Snake Island both forbidden and fascinating. Kalaupapa. Kalaupapa is a remote settlement on the Hawaiian island of Molokai, known for its history as one of the most isolated leprosy colonies in the world. In 1866, King Kamehameha V ordered people with leprosy to be separated from the rest of the population. Over the next century, more than 8,000 men, women, and children were sent to Kalaupapa. Many were left with little food or shelter and were forced to build homes and farms from nothing. Families were permanently separated, and people sent to Kalaupapa were legally declared dead, even though they were still alive. The most famous figure connected with the settlement was Father Damien, a Catholic missionary from Belgium who moved there in 1873 to provide care. He eventually contracted leprosy himself and died in 1889. For decades, the government enforced strict rules preventing contact with the outside world. This did not end until the mid-20th century, when effective treatments for leprosy became available. The law requiring separation was officially lifted in 1969, but some patients chose to remain in Kalaupapa, as it had become the only home they knew. Today, Kalaupapa is preserved as a national historical park. Entry is restricted to protect the privacy of the few surviving residents. Visitors must apply for permission and may only enter as part of authorized tours or official work. Fort Knox. Fort Knox is a United States Army post in Kentucky, best known for housing the United States Bullion Depository. Built in 1936 during the Great Depression, the facility was designed to store America's gold safely at a time of economic uncertainty. Today, it is believed to contain about 147 million ounces of gold, valued at hundreds of billions of dollars, making it one of the largest collections of wealth in the world. The building itself is a granite and steel structure, surrounded by multiple layers of security, armed guards, electronic surveillance, and restricted access. Reports claim that even the vault combination is divided among several people, so no single individual can open it. Public access to the depository is strictly forbidden. No tours have been given since World War II, and even high-ranking government officials rarely enter. The last major public inspection took place in 1974, when a small group of reporters and members of Congress were briefly shown part of the vault to quiet rumors about whether the gold was still there. Niʻihau Island. Niʻihau Island, often called the Forbidden Island, is the smallest inhabited island in Hawaii. It lies just west of Kauai and has been privately owned by the Robinson family since 1864. Around 200 native Hawaiians still live on Niʻihau, maintaining a traditional lifestyle. Access to the island is strictly controlled. Outsiders cannot visit without a direct invitation from the Robinson family or the residents themselves. On rare occasions, small groups of visitors are allowed on Niʻihau through helicopter tours, but contact with the residents remains restricted. There is very little modern infrastructure. Electricity is limited, and most homes rely on solar power. This isolation helps preserve the community's privacy and protects cultural traditions that have disappeared elsewhere in Hawaii. Poveglia Island. Poveglia is a small island in the Venetian lagoon of northern Italy, known for its long history of disease, isolation, and death. In the 18th century, it was used as a quarantine site during outbreaks of plague. Thousands of infected people were brought to the island, where many died and were buried in mass graves. In the early 20th century, a mental hospital was established on Poveglia. Local stories claim that patients were mistreated there, and legends grew of strange medical experiments being performed. Although there is little documented evidence for these claims, they have contributed to the island's reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. The asylum closed in the mid-20th, and since then the island has been abandoned. Its buildings, including the hospital, has fallen into ruin. Access is forbidden without special permission from the Italian government. Over the years, proposals to redevelop the site have been discussed, but its reputation for tragedy and haunting has kept it unused. Svalbard Global Seed Vault. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, often called the Doomsday Vault, is located on the Arctic island of Spitsbergen in Norway's Svalbard archipelago, about 1,300 kilometers from the North Pole. Opened in 2008, the vault was built to safeguard the future of global agriculture by storing duplicates of crop seeds from around the world. In the event of war, natural disaster, or climate crisis, it acts as a secure backup for food supplies. The facility extends more than 130 meters into a mountain of permafrost, where natural cold conditions keep seeds preserved even if power is lost. Access to the vault is tightly restricted. The Norwegian government owns the facility, but it is managed in partnership with international organizations. Each country or institution that deposits seeds retains ownership and can withdraw them if needed. This is rare, but in 2015, seeds were taken from a global seed vault to replace ones lost in the Syrian conflict. They were returned in 2017 after a new storage facility was built. Although the vault was designed to endure earthquakes, rising sea levels, and even nuclear war, climate change has already posed challenges. In 2017, unusual melting caused water to seep into the entrance tunnel, though no seeds were damaged. The incident led to significant upgrades to protect the site against future risks. Heard Island. Heard Island is a remote volcanic island located in the southern Indian Ocean, about 4,000 kilometers southwest of mainland Australia, situated between Madagascar and Antarctica. The environment on Heard Island is extremely harsh. Freezing temperatures, strong winds, heavy storms, and rough seas make access difficult and dangerous. There are no permanent human settlements, and no safe harbors for ships. The surrounding waters are often treacherous, and landing on the island requires careful planning and rare favorable conditions. Because of its ecological value, Heard Island is protected as part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Access to the island is strictly limited. The Australian Antarctic Division manages permits, which are granted only for specific scientific or environmental purposes. Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a private campground located in the redwood forests of Monte Rio, California. It is owned by the Bohemian Club, a private men's organization founded in San Francisco in 1872. Since the late 19th century, the Grove has served as the site of an exclusive annual retreat held every July. Access to Bohemian Grove is completely restricted. Non-members and journalists are not permitted. The retreat lasts about 2 weeks and is known to feature theatrical plays, musical performances, and informal discussions. The secrecy surrounding Bohemian Grove has fueled public curiosity for decades. Reports suggest that while some activities are social or artistic, others involve private conversations between powerful individuals.